So, hi guys. I just like to introduce you to this HTML attribute. All HTML elements can have attribute. That's quite okay. Attribute provide additional information about an element. The HTML element already provide an information, and that's okay. But now all attribute can have any attribute, any HTML element. Sorry, any HTML element can have an attribute, and the attribute will provide an additional information, extra information about that element. Then when you want to create an attribute, you always put the attribute in the start tag, never in the end tag. And the attribute comes in pairs. That means they're in two. An attribute, that means whenever you give the name of an attribute, it must always have a value. An attribute does not just come and stand alone, so it always come with a value. So let's just move on and see some examples of attributes in that our code. Let's write some code with attributes. So let's say we have created our page already before. We have created our file and want to create now. You had an image like this. I want to make you understand something. That's it. That's what we have here. Now this source here is an attribute. This source here is an attribute name, src. If it means source, then it has a value of product.jpg. This is the value inside here, and this value is simply what? A location on our server, a location on our desktop or on our server. Yeah, a location. So now it simply points to the data in that source file. It simply points to the file name of the image, the file name that contains the image, because this is a file. I told you earlier, like earlier in some basic definition, I talked to you about files, right? So, and I said what was a file. This is what I said here about files. So we had something like files here, some basic in some definitions we had file, and I told you that a computer file is used to store data in digital format like plain text, image data. Look at something, image data. So image.jpg is a file, but that contains what? An image data. It's only when you open that image.jpg that you can see the image data, and that is a file. That's my insinuation. So now that is my stand actually. So now that's what we have there. So now what I'm trying to make you understand is that this is a value, but this value is the file name and the direction, that means, and the location, because this dot / represents what? The location where the file is, and this dot / simply means that it is in that very location where this our HTML file is. But if there are different ways you can look for the location, if I put a double dot like this, it simply means that this file is in a folder up, it's in a folder inside this our very direction, but it is in a folder in this our very directory, but inside a folder, a sorry, it simply means that it is in a subdirectory in this our directory that we're working with. And our directory that we're working in the directory we're working in right here is wdot. So we have that. So now this is a source. I'm trying to emphasize on this src source attribute here, which is an attribute. It comes with 8 value. So but now we can add other attributes such as a width attribute. The width actually specifies the width of maybe the image of the image. You put it in column. You always be in column is good. 600. You know, in HTML file you might put the column out, but it's better you always use it with columns. Whenever you want to give the attribute their name, always make sure that the attributes have their names. It's better, very better. And you give it a height of 400 or 450 pixels. It's not pixels, but 450. Yes. So when you go to your browser and reload your page, you discover that you have the image size has increased to something like that. So not just that, it does not end. You discover that we have now, there's another one I want to talk about, the link attribute, the link tag. The link tag is like this. That is a link. Sorry, undo. A link tag is like this, a, then it closes. That is the link tag. Just a tag, a tag, a tag represents the link tag. Now it's a close tag because it has an opening tag and a closing tag. So now the content of the link tag comes between here, comes in here. This is hey, this is my hey, hey, this is my link. Full stop. Click here. We have that, but this will not be okay. This will not be okay. It will not take you to any place. It will not take you to any place because it does not have a reference. You need to reference it to another link, another site. That is the reason you call it a link. You are linking it to another site, right? But now, where is the reference? So in order for you to get the reference, you let me first of all go to the page and show you something. It's not taking you to anywhere. Look at something here. Hey, this is my link. Nothing is happening here because you have not given a reference. So now that takes us back to again to attribute. Where is the reference? We have to put our reference attribute, which is href, equals to the address of the link, the site where I want to link the user or the client to. So I say www dot example or my site.com. So I have it there. But I can go back to my site, my website, and come back and check it. And I first of all have to refresh. I discover that it has changed a little bit because the browser recognizes it as a link, and that is the browser default way of marking the link. So hey, that is a link, and when I click on it, you discover that it shows here. This is what I'm trying to go. This is where I'm trying to go to, www.mysite.com. But now that it's not a valid link, it gives me file not found. This not found anywhere. So that's actually good. That's something about the hy file. So I also like to talk about the style. So let me put it back. You can see the style attribute. So let's create another heading tag, but now in this case we'll create a heading 3 tag. In this our case, create a heading 3 tag. Heading 3 tag, h3, close. That's our heading 3 tag. Oh, and I would like us to write a content like this is the third content, third heading. This is the third, the third heading style. That's what we have there. That's quite fine. If I go and refresh my page, here, look at something. This is a third heading style. Fine. Then I want to add something there like a horizontal line. I put hr, something like this. That's it. A horizontal line will appear beneath it. That's a horizontal line that has appeared beneath here. So with time we'll use css to control the horizontal line and so forth, and I also give you resources to study more on this. So that's what we have here. This is the third heading. But now there's something I want to talk about, the style attribute. I want to style this. The style attribute is used for styling the HTML element. You style it. I want to give it a color. Now I told you earlier that it is what the attribute comes like name and value, but now this style attribute is a special kind of attribute. It is an inline css. That means a css that is written within HTML code, within HTML element. So it is inline, and css has a syntax, and the syntax for HTML is that it has what, a property. You give it a property. Sorry, I'm just trying to do some demonstration here. You give it a property, give it a property like this, property name. Let me put in capital letter, property name. Oh, my idea is disturbing me. I don't like it. So property name colon value, property name colon value, then semicolon. If you are having another property name colon value, So, but since this is the last, you simply stop like that without putting any semicolon. So, but that would be the syntax for CSS. This, but inline CSS comes like this. This is the syntax for inline CSS. Always comes like this. But this should be in quotation marks. That's a single quotation mark here, and this another quotation mark. This should be in quotation mark. So what I'm trying to do is I want to give it a name, color. PHP is case insensitive. So sorry, HTML is case insensitive. So you have to give it color, then column. The name of the column I want to give it orange color. Orange color. Then since I can still put a semicolon here and put it and give it a font size or font size, yeah, font size of maybe let's say 15 or 20, 25 pixels. Yes, then I can change it. I can play with this. So I will give you a link where you go do all this research to improve yourself more. So you simply press on Control S, you save your file, you go back to the page and you load, and you discover this is the third heading style, and you discover the third heading style and the font size too has changed. I can simply go and change the font size maybe to 15 again, 15. Then I would like to move this horizontal line above this so it can stay here, so I change it to 15. Then I have save, have a save here, come back and load. So you see I have a horizontal line here. I have here, this is my link, click here, and this is the third heading style, and that is, you see that the style, the third heading here has changed. Why? Because the font size I put there has been reduced to 15. I can play with that until I come out with a desired result. And this is especially this styling and HTML having so much sophisticated knowledge in HTML and CSS, and also JavaScript is more for towards web designers. So but my target is not just for you knowing how to. I'm not trying to emphasize so much on web designing, but I'm doing all this as an introduction so that you can know what actually we need from you, so that you'll not be confused whenever we're using it inside our coding section. And also, so that it's also important, so that I'm introducing you to it too as well, so that when you look at it, you will not see it strange. And you can, and I also encourage you to do a small research too. That does not end here. There's so much. It does not end here. This is just the tip of an iceberg. Actually, it's so much. So I would like you to go to websites like I would like you to reference. I'd like you to do a reference here. Reference. These are references that you do. W3 schools. Yes, W3 schools. Use W3 schools to find out.com about more HTML tags and CSS as well. Next class we will do forms and CSS. Then our next class will be getting now into the serious business, that will be JavaScript. So thank you. I will send the assignments, the exercise, sorry, in the group, and do it before Saturday, because Saturday is our next class. Please do endeavor to communicate whatever modification that has to be done, whatever requirements that has to be done. Please do it, and let's make it better. You If you are not satisfied with something, let me know in the group. We can easily chat and correct and communicate. Let's communicate, please. It should not just be like do a lot of research too, and let's communicate. Thank you. I will send you the exercises in the group, and I'll be expecting you to have done it. So for now, this is W3 schools. We can brush your HTML skills, your CSS skills. Please, I've taken my time to explain all this. For me, it was kind of boring a little bit, but I've taken the time to explain to you so that you should not be lost into this world, into this programming. You should not be lost. whenever we're doing the web development, so it should not be stopped. Please, this is for novice. Some of you have already been making me understand that you already have the knowledge in HTML, so I feel like no, it's no need of doing it, but I'm doing this so that any new person can simply follow up with us. No need of going back again and so forth. I've taken the time to make you understand this. So the next class we shall start today, we're going to have CSS and HTML forms. I'm emphasizing on HTML forms because we use HTML forms a lot when we're dealing with JavaScript. When we start working on project with PHP too as well, in order to enter to take uh, users input. So thank you for your time, and I pray that this all goes well.